how to make mass production of powder, because it eliminates the process in between. It eliminates many machining aspects and all that, and then it directly will get the product. And this is the second direction where the product innovation takes place, use of 3D printing product using the powders of various materials and metals. The third thing which will happen is, so far when we talk about any steel conference, we talk about steel only. And we forget the role of non-metallic materials which are happening, especially how we are going to have a marriage between steel and carbon fiber composites. How we get to talk about aluminum alloys where the people are maneuvering at a nano level and the strength is going nearer to about 200 megapascal. How we are going to talk about steel and titanium, steel and aluminum, steel and composites. How we boron carbide, silicon carbide will work, which are non-metallic. So I think the future product innovations at a product level, at a subsystem level and systems level, subsystem will require the equal knowledge from the R&D point of view that how the other non-metallic, other than steel, can be a party where we are developing the product or subsystem in the product. I think these are few pointers for discussion. I think the panel also will speak their perspective. My perspective is, let's talk about smaller volume, high niche product, not for India, for abroad, and for that this principle of innovations can be leveraged, whether it's a carbon steel or alloy steel or a special steel plant. I think with these few words, I close my speech. I think the other panel will do, and then we do a conclusions, how we have got it from this session. Thank you very much. Just last, in fact, I didn't know that last slide also is there, or maybe one more is there, I do not know. See, generally people get the first graph in carbon steel. Whenever they do product development, they'll make some loss in product development, then they make profit. My sector is that the day one you start making profit, because even the development order which customer gives, you make profit order. This is a different characteristic where customer is ready to share your development cost for the day one. So graph of profitability becomes different, and obviously you can last this profit much longer because of learning curve, because of time dependency. Many people say, sir, I have understood your seminar, tomorrow can I become equivalent to your company, I want to invest. No. There is a learning curve, there is a path dependency, there is a complexity. It will take years to come before you can duplicate Bidhani. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Dinesh Kumar Likhi, for sharing your perspective. Later now, I would invite Dr. Pinakin Chaubal, Vice President and Group Chief Technology Officer, ArcelorMittal, to share his insight on the theme Innovation Pitch.
Thank you and namaskar. It's a pleasure to share a few thoughts with you. We have a limited amount of time. So just first an introduction to, quick introduction to ArcelorMittal. As Mr. Woman said, we are the largest steel producer in the world today, with over 19 countries where we have a footprint of crude steel production. We are also having a global mining portfolio, both in iron ore and coal, across various continents. These support both our own internal needs, partially, and also sometimes in the marketplace. Now, our philosophy in terms of innovation is very simple. We look at ourselves as a high-tech company, bringing the right technology at the right time to support the needs of our clients, but also very important, we believe that we are and we should play an important role in defining the steel industry of the future, and the steel technology of the future. And in order to do that, we have a very wide range of research laboratories, largely in Europe and North and South America, and a very well-established network where we leverage universities, research institutes, and also, where appropriate, do co-developmental work with other steel companies under the appropriate protection laws. We also have, as you can see, presence where our major customers are, because It's one thing to do R&D, it's one thing to produce the right technologies, but it's also very important to bring the right kind of solutions to our customers. And this early involvement is an integral part of the way we bring value to our customers. Now, just to lay out and share a few thoughts, because we really do have a short amount of time, and we can't really go through and talk about all the potential technology developments across the entire value chain of the steel industry. I'd like to introduce to you the concept of sustainable manufacturing in the age of digitalization. And why did I put it in this way? Sustainable manufacturing is really what all our stakeholders are demanding of us. Whether it's our customers, whether it is our own workforce, or whether it's a community that we serve. All of them are looking at a few things which are very common. First of all, everyone wants to look at what we are doing internally. Our own internal processes, conservation of energy, conservation of resources, having a small footprint, safety. These are all demands for our internal processes. Protecting the environment, both inside and outside our four walls, is also very critical. And certainly our customers are looking, as some of the earlier speakers mentioned, Mr. Dilbhuman also said, why not zero defect steel? But also very importantly, to sustainably bring the kind of solutions that they want. Because we don't want to be looked at as just a steel producer, but rather a solution provider. Now, underlying all of this, and I think one of the speakers will talk about this a little bit today, is the whole world of digitalization. It's a tongue-twisting word, but there's a lot behind it. And we are convinced that digitalization and the technologies that are embedded in digitalization are and will be a key factor for the sustainability of the steel industry. So that's why we have coined this word, sustainable manufacturing in the age of digitalization. And what I'd like to do is just give you a brief glimpse of a few technologies that illustrate this point. Now, there's a lot of talk about protecting our environment. We've heard about recycling, reuse, remanufacture, etc., reduce. We've talked about emissions, dust emissions, chemical emissions, CO2. And I'd just like to focus in on CO2 because, as somebody mentioned, there's a major push today, in fact, if you have read at Davos forum that's going on, where all the participants are being asked to commit to certain key reductions in their own industrial sectors in terms of CO2. And the other emissions will come very fast, of course. Now, in terms of CO2, we have a major initiative in ArcelorMittal, and I'd like to just point out to you what the philosophy is here. There are three circles: circular carbon, clean power, and fossil fuels with carbon capture and storage. Circular carbon is a concept where we are talking of carbon being reused and recycled continuously. Yes, of course, by using agriculture and trees, that's one way. But here we are talking about taking carbon, converting it back into other chemicals. They are reused then back in our own processes to maintain the circularity of carbon without necessarily putting it back in the ground. Clean power, all of you are fully aware of this. These are power from non-renewable resources, wind, water, and so on. And whether we like it or not, there is going to be a significant need for integrated steel making in the future. And use of fossil fuels will be important. So use of fossil fuels with carbon capture and storage is a critical lever that we all have to look at. So given these three key levers, we have a number of technologies that are either today in an industrial trial phase or will soon be in industrial trial phase, so that in the next decade, we expect to bring them online as full industrial processes. So I just walk through that in quick way. So on the right-hand side, you see learning to make biocoals. This is from biomass, making carbon sources, which can be used in different ways within our own processes. Learning to inject rich gases in the blast furnace by using different techniques of catalytic reforming or non-catalytic reforming also. If clean power is available, we are also working on electrolysis. not molten salt electrolysis, but low temperature aqueous electrolysis for recovering iron directly from iron ores and sludges. We are in the process of setting up a facility to look at 100% hydrogen use for producing direct reduced iron. This is in Germany. Moving up, in the next arc there, we have two other projects that are going on right now. How to efficiently separate carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, because this is a key part right now. And if you separate them, then each stream is rich in its particular chemical species and can be reused. So one of the projects that we are just starting up in our plant in Belgium is where we will convert CO containing gases along with some hydrogen to ethanol. And ethanol is a precursor for many things, including it could be mixed and as a biofuel also. So this shows you that we are today